Civil rights was probably the single most important story in America when the movement really started. A lot of change depended on the story getting out. I went from Goldsboro to Norfolk, Virginia. 6 schools were closed to prevent desegregation with about a dozen black students. That was my first brush with the civil rights story. And then I left Norfolk to work with the Raleigh News-Argus and covered the sit-ins when they moved to Raleigh, and Martin Luther King when he flew in to Durham to get involved in the sit-in movement. I saw kind of firsthand how much support Martin Luther King had and the sit-in movement had. In Raleigh, it was mixed. Some people liked the idea of change and other people did not. During a political rally, it was in Lumberton, North Carolina. The segregationist candidate pointed me out in the crowd, and the local editor sort of saved my bacon. He came and hid me in his darkened office until things calmed down a bit. I was hit once with a brick in Birmingham. There was kind of a sense of disorientation in the South. Occasionally I had to go into the black community to file my story and feel safe. It was certainly true that the South during the Civil Rights era was highly divided and polarized. But the polarization across the nation is much more severe than it was during my early years as a reporter, with the South being an exception. I got to the Philadelphia Inquirer in 1972. As a reporter, I was always hoping that editors would stay out of my way and let me do my thing. And as an editor, I tried to put that into practice. We had a newspaper that encouraged reporters to dig as hard as they could dig and rewarded strong reporting on the part of the staff. Reporters felt that if they came up with good leads or a good idea, we would let them pursue it. Before I got to Philadelphia, I was a war correspondent in Vietnam. I covered the Battle of Hue and the Tet Offensive. After covering Vietnam, I became national editor of the New York Times. Interestingly, I thought probably the most competitive situation I was ever in was covering the state legislature for the Raleigh News-Argus. Papers like Winston-Salem, Greensboro, Charlotte sent their best reporters into Raleigh to cover it. The level of reporter expertise was quite good. I've always thought of myself as a North Carolinian. I always thought ultimately I would get back to the state. I'm involved in the historic Bath Foundation. We've spent almost $1 million restoring the former Bath High School, creating a museum that's operated by the State Historic Site. Bath has the oldest church building in the state and one of the oldest houses, the Palmer Marsh House. During the Tuscarora Indian War, Bath was a refugee center, and Blackbeard, of course, operated out of here. I think Bath is one of the nice little treasures of North Carolina.